So I think that's good. So welcome to everyone who's here. This is our third town hall call from Because Berlin. We've had one town hall call in English before. Then we had a Turkish one, which was a lot of fun. And we're back in English again this time. My name's Karen Karger. I'll be guiding you through this call. I'm the CEO and the founder of a company here in Berlin called Rising. We are the people behind the scenes of Because Berlin. We launched this last year together with Berlin Partner. Not everybody knows who they are. They are called Berlin Partner for Business and Technology officially. It's a unique public-private partnership that collaborates with the Berlin Senate. And they help companies and individuals here to promote the city in the world, but also while they're here in the city to grow. And in particular, Because Berlin, our aim is to let the world know about what it's like to live and work here as an employee or a freelancer or business owner. So we help people to move here from all around the world. We answer all their questions about immigration, about getting a job, but at the same time, we help them to settle into the city, establish their lives here with their families, their professional life, and it's all for free. That's pretty special. We do all this for free. And something else that's special about us is that you can speak with us. You can write an email at any time when you go on our website to contact@because.berlin, and you'll get an answer in English. And if you want to set up a call with somebody from our team, you'll be able to set up a call in English as well. That's something pretty special, and we're proud of that. So when this crisis hit, the COVID-19 crisis, we realized quickly we had to jump in and act to help people who needed more help than usual. So there's a new section on our website called Berlin Helps Expats, or hashtag Berlin Helps Expats. We have an FAQ on our website that we update regularly. And yeah, things are slowly, the mood is a little bit better in Berlin. Restrictions are falling away slowly. The weather's getting better. But still, we're receiving a lot of requests and questions about how to get through these times. And steering through these things are not easy. In general, in Germany, if you're an expat and you don't speak German or don't speak perfect German, actually for Germans as well, it's not easy to understand all these rules and regulations, especially the financial aspects of what's going on are difficult to understand. So we're here to help you with that. Our inbox is full of questions still. They're streaming in every day about the crisis. As we move on, we will have future town hall calls post-crisis. We'll talk about that a little at the end of the call. But for now, we're still receiving enough questions about this crisis situation to continue these town hall calls about that subject. So I'm going to start by introducing the people who you'll be speaking with today or listening to today. The first one will be Vivian Lee. And Vivian, she leads our welcome team at Because Berlin. You might have written with her already or had a call with her already. She's the first person who hears from you. And Vivian's she's from Germany, but she spent many years in the US, moved back here with her entire family. And she's our expert for everything that international people need. She can just help you with any question. If she can't help you directly, she knows how to get the answer for you from someone at Berlin Partner or wherever she has to go, she'll get the answer for you. Then after that, we have Davide Cremas, who's from the talent division of Berlin Partner. And he works quite hands-on. Some of you may have received his newsletter about everything that has to do with immigration, everything about work, talent, labor, visas, investors in Berlin. So he's with us today to answer a lot of questions. Then we have from Berlin Partner as well, Christian Treichel. He's the project manager for international things. In particular, he works with Arab countries. And since the beginning of the crisis, Christian has also been answering the hotline at Berlin Partner. So he really knows a lot. He knows about the most common questions coming in. He usually does that in German, but today he's going to do that for us in English. And then we have today Davide Gravina, who's the owner of a very popular restaurant in Berlin. And he's going to tell us today about what it's been like for him getting through these times and his team and his customers. And then lastly, we have Manou, who is from the Rising team. Some of you know her from social media, and Mano's the architect behind this whole call. She's put it all together. She'll be watching the Q&As, and she and Vivian will be answering live as much as they can. Vivian, of course, because she knows best about most of your questions, and Mano will collect some questions, and when we have time at the end, she'll ask them to the right expert at the end. So I will now stop talking and introduce Vivian. And hi, Vivian.
Hi, Karen.
Thanks for being here. I just heard there's some new news. There's always something new these days. So for starters, could you explain a little bit more about what you do at Because Berlin?
Yeah, so hi, everyone, and thank you for joining. Really quick explanation. I'm the person behind the contact information. So when you send an email to contact@because.berlin, then you send the email to me. And I have the happy task to answering all of your incoming questions as quickly as I can. What we really wanted to make sure that we have an interactive experience and that there is an actual human being on the other end and not a bot answering questions. So I take the time to read your emails and to really sometimes dig deep into the queries that you have and then come up with an answer. If I don't have the immediate answer, then I have the beautiful task of having a great team in immigration and also with Christian with the COVID-19 questions that help me answer those questions as well. And yeah, so basically, originally I answered a lot of inquiries about what it is like to move to Berlin and how you can find a job. And this was really our idea of Because Berlin. But because of the crisis, we realized that there are so many expats that have questions, and then we were able to answer those as well with some really hands-on support. So my support ranges from answering your emails, but also if you really need help, I'm happy to schedule a call and get you through some of the tasks of, for example, filling in documents, etc. Yeah, so at this point, I think that the crisis is kind of winding down, but we still have a lot of inquiries about that. So I think that this aspect of assistance will be here to stay. So we will, continue to help expats that have questions that range from immigration to job seeking to setting up a company or branching out their own businesses.
So Vivian, I think that the next logical question is, are we already starting to talk about post-crisis? Are you starting to get more questions about moving here? Because that was slow. And then I think people are starting to globally think more about moving. What's going on?
Right. So right now we still get a lot of questions from expats that are already in Berlin, but I do see an uptick in questions about travel restrictions. When are we able to come to Berlin and set up in Berlin? So I really feel that there's a hopeful, there's a hopeful uptick, so to speak. And even though we cannot really predict right now what will happen, with the economy, I do believe that in Berlin we'll definitely recover because we have this creative drive and we have so many freelancers that are here and that are building businesses and that are willing to come. And I think Berlin has been doing really well in that. So we hope that out of this crisis, new ideas and businesses will actually put Berlin up on the top destinations once again.
Okay, great. Mm-hmm. And then, yes, to wrap up your section here, what's allowed right now? I mean, this changes again every day. I know you have some hot news about things changing at the registry office, stuff like that. What's going on right now? What's now allowed and not allowed? News of the day.
Right. I thought the news of the day was that the public pools are open again as of Monday. So I thought that was kind of a happy news because, I mean, right now for the ones that are not in Berlin, you can really see that the loosening of restrictions have taken hold on people. And unless you go into the shops and the busy public spaces, you would think that Berlin is absolutely back to normal. Of course, some things are not open yet. Unfortunately, the clubs and the movie theaters and theaters, of course, they're still waiting for more restrictions to loosen and to find out more ways to do it in a safe way. So the public pools, for example, is a great thing. However, you have to go online and you have to register your little spot for sunbathing, so to speak. Now, in terms of getting organized and relocating to Berlin, or the people that are here that have been desperately trying to get their bureaucratic stuff done, for example, the registration, as of Monday, you're allowed to do online registration again. You can do online registration. They do say that it should be an emergency. For example, a registration that is very urgent, that was supposed to be done some time ago, would definitely qualify as an emergency. But then I checked this morning, and of course, all the appointments as of 10 in the morning are booked. So my suggestion, for example, would be to become an early bird, get up early and check at 6, 7 in the morning. And that's when slots might open up, and then you can book your slot for registration. And the same is for the Finanzamt, the German finance office, so to speak. You can also make online appointments. So no walk-ins yet for any of the official places, but you can do a lot online.
Okay, thank you. So obviously there are many more questions, and Vivian has lots of answers. So you can always write to her again at contact@because.berlin, and she'll answer your individual questions.
Yes,
and
definitely.
You can talk to the Q&A right now. She's there now. If there's something she can answer quickly, she's there now for you. So thank you, Vivian.
You're welcome. Perfect.
Talk soon. And I will now turn to Davide Cremas from Berlin Partner. So David's going to cover some more questions on immigration and things like travel. We have a lot of questions about that right now. So hi David, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello, Karen. Hi, team. Nice to have me here. Thank you for that. And hello to everyone who is joining us.
So we have a few, the most popular questions that we get for you, David. So here's number one. My visa is just about to expire. All my appointments at the registration offices are canceled, as we just heard. It's hard to get a new one. What do I do now?
Yes. First of all, and I guess it will be part of the answer for all the following questions, is check out the official website of Berlin's immigration office. So that should everyone do who has a visa which is going to expire, or who has a residence permit which is going invalid or running out. So please check out this official website and don't hear to everyone talking or stories from somebody. So yeah, check out the immigrations office website. And right now, it's the same situation like the financial offices and the Bürgeramt. There is no possibility to walk in and walk by. So right now, everyone who gets a visa or holds a residence permit should register themselves on the online contact formula on the website of the immigration office. This is also available in English, so should be fine to fill it in and to find it. But in the end, it's a German authority, and most of the information is presented in English, in German, mostly also in English, but you need to read it and take the time to read the FAQ, because there are a lot of answers to urgent questions right now. But very briefly said, join the website, register yourself, and the immigration office will get back to you via email or snail mail and let you know what are the next steps and how to proceed to prolong your residence permit or your visa.
Great, perfect, thank you. So here's another one about residence permits. So some people are not here right now. So yep. I have a residence permit. I'm currently abroad, but I can't get back. I've been told that my permit will expire if I stay abroad for more than 6 months. Is that right?
In normal times, this would be the correct situation, yes. But right now, the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as also the Berlin Immigration Office, they extended the time to stay abroad until end of August, when I'm right. I just read it yesterday, sorry. So right now it's fine to stay more than 6 months abroad once you have left Germany before the 18th of March, because on 18th of March we found out that Corona situation is quite hard, affecting Germany, and I guess then on this day the travel regulation starts. That's why when you have left Germany before the 18th of March, your residence permit keep on going valid or stays valid.
And if you left after March 18th, then it's more complicated. Or is
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how the authorities handle that.
Yeah.
It depends how it depends on the individual situation, but mostly you wouldn't get a flight or plane or something after March the 18th. Mm-hmm. So it shouldn't be an issue as long as you have a residence permit or being registered as a citizen or an inhabitant of Berlin.
Yeah. So I guess if it's tricky, get in touch with Vivian, and she'll contact me, and then we'll figure it out.
And once you are still abroad, I'm not quite sure where our attendees of the town hall call, where are you right now? So once you are abroad and you want to come back to Germany, check out the website of the respective German embassy in the region where you are. The German embassy is giving information and advice how to proceed, how to get a re-entry visa. And you can also get in touch with the Berlin Immigration Office to let them know, hey, I'm registered in Berlin, I'm currently abroad and have no chance to come back right in time. Then there's a special department, you can just email them and they will get in touch with a with a German embassy too. So you have two options to clarify your situation and to get support from the official authorities.
All right, thank you. So, well, interesting. And my next question. So we have a lot of emails from people there are some countries that the citizens don't require a visa to come to Germany. The US, Canada, Australia. And for example, they can stay usually for 90 days without a visa. And the question is, I came thinking I'd be back home within 90 days, but I'm not. Now what do I do?
If you don't have the idea to stay here for a long time, so to stay here, to live here, to have your center of living here, if you're just here for tourist issues or business issues and wanted to travel back home, then you have these 90 days already. And when these 90 days are over, we would recommend to get in touch with your embassy based here in Berlin. So if you're a US citizen, reach out to the US embassy, Canadians to the Canadian embassy, and talk to them, check out their websites, because most of the countries offering services for their citizens. So bring back services, organizing planes and flights back home, things like that, what the German authority also have done. So this would be the most important, to reach out to the embassy to get advice and assistance there. From the German authorities, I guess you don't have to fear anything. So the immigration office is totally fine for these privileged countries you listed. And so everyone knows we are in a special situation and that traveling is restricted. So no one will jail you once you are here 92 days.
Good to know.
Even if it's 100 days.
Yeah. No fear.
No fear on that, yeah.
They will be lenient. All right. I have one that's probably a long one, but let's maybe just a very short answer. Travel bans. I know this is every day this changes.
Yeah.
What is the current situation on travel bans? That's a big question. But can you give a really quick answer to that one? what about traveling for work within the EU, outside of the EU?
From our current experience is that it will be the borders will be opened up country by country, depending on the corona situation in that specific country. So right now we are waiting for mid of June that we have more freedom to travel again within Europe. I guess it was decided yesterday that Europe should be open as a free travel area, the Schengen area, like before. But it depends really on the individual situation of the countries within the EU. Outside of the EU, the same situation occurs. So Brazil and US currently, it's quite hard to get there and to come back from there. So keep an eye on the official information of the Federal Ministry of Inner Affairs, because they are in charge for these travel regulations.
All right, thanks. So one thing, it's a two-part question. So it's about getting a job offer.
Yeah.
I find this really interesting. So one is maybe I'm in a country, one of those countries we were just talking about earlier, Canada, Australia, and I have a job offer to come to Berlin. So usually you come and then you handle all the bureaucracy when you get here. So one part is if you're from a country such as Canada, and the other question, the follow-up, I'll just tell you right now, will be, what if you're from a different country where it's more complicated? You're from India, and it's more complicated. You have a job offer. Could you explain those two cases?
Yeah. In normal times, regular times, a Canadian candidate who want to work in Berlin and got a job offer just came by plane, entered Germany, and start the application process right here in Berlin. Right now, I guess it's not possible to enter Germany just with a job offer, because no one will know if that job offer will lead you to a valid work permit or if the application will be rejected. So right now, only a job offer from a Berlin-based company wouldn't be sufficient to enter a plane and to come over to Germany, to Berlin. Different to someone who has already a work permit and has a job here in Berlin. This guy could be travel or is allowed to travel. Maybe the situation changes mid of June when the travel regulations might fall. But finally, the Canadian guy should visit should join the German embassy in Canada to ask for more details, how to enter Germany, what is possible, what not. Another example, these not privileged countries like India or Ukraine or Turkey, the candidates from these countries, they all need to go in regular times too, to apply for a D or for a national visa at the German embassy in their home country. And right now it's the same situation. You need a national visa to enter Germany. So right now a job offer wouldn't be sufficient. It would be sufficient to apply for a national visa, but for that you would need an appointment at the embassy. And right now they are affected by the lockdown.
All right, I think that's interesting. That one was surprising for you. Okay, understanding it more and more, learning every day.
Yeah,
so
me too.
I guess we all are. And I have one last question because we're running out of time for the other. So I'm going to just ask one more and maybe the short version of the answer, but I'm going to throw a complicated question at you and then ask for a short answer. My residence permit or visa does not allow me to receive unemployment benefits usually, right? But I need it. So am I in danger if I apply because of the crisis? And am I even eligible as a foreigner to get unemployment? Can you talk a little bit? It's a worrying situation for many people right now.
Yeah. So first, the first question is really easy to answer, and very briefly, right now this restriction is out of order. So everyone who has a work permit, a residence permit, which includes this sentence, gets invalid when getting unemployment benefits or things like that. This sentence is out of order for at least August this year. right now in this week, the Immigration Office of Berlin has prolonged this time that this restrictions are out of order. So no worries on that. You feel free to apply for this so-called Arbeitslosengeld, unemployment benefits, no matter if it's at the Federal Employment Agency or the so-called job center. So do so. If you have paid in the social security system, if you have paid your insurances, things like that, then apply for these benefits. There is no restriction on that. The second question is much more complicated. Who is eligible for this unemployment benefit? And for that, I only can recommend reach out to the respective Agentur für Arbeit, Federal Employment Agency, or job center in your district where you are living, and apply for the benefits. Check out also their websites. They offer some basic information also in English. So check out the job center as also Arbeitsagentur for their financial support systems and benefits for job seeker or for Kurzarbeit, whatever you have here right now in this crisis situation. If you are eligible, it depends on your personal situation and how long you are staying here, how long you have paid into the social security system. I can't answer that really in detail.
Yeah.
But you feel free to apply for that, yes.
Mm-hmm. And if you have more questions, again, you can direct them to David.
Yes, please.
Write us an email. And if you want more, because he could probably talk about this for a while, so we can help you connect with David and get the answer that you need from him. All right, thank you. And I will now speak with Christian Treichel, because he's actually starting off with a similar question. Some of it's the same, there's some overlap. So Christian, hello.
Hi.
The first question I have for you, I'm a freelancer. I received the Corona Zuschuss, this financial aid, at the beginning of April, this big wave at the beginning that everyone got. But I ran out of money and I have no new contracts. I don't know what to do. Can I now receive additional financial help? So it's the same question, but just for a freelancer. Can I now apply for Arbeitslosengeld?
Yeah. Yes, you definitely can, and it doesn't matter if you are foreigner or not. So there is no difference between Germans and foreigners in that regard. So it's the easy way, as David just described. You have to contact your job center or the unemployment agency, and you have to ask for what we call Arbeitslosengeld 2, which is at least unemployment benefits. This is open for all freelancers and entrepreneurs in the time frame from March 1st until June 30th up to now. And the federal government can extend this up to end of December if the next step should be necessary. So there, at least the answer of your question, or for your question, is yes, there is a possibility to participate in the social benefits here.
Good to know. That's a good answer. Let's see, question I have for you about remaining on that topic with this. So some of my friends received an email from the IBB saying anyone that had received this Zuschuss, this financial aid, has to declare it to their tax office.
Yeah.
Is that true? And that means I have to pay taxes on it? Is that correct?
It will be subject to income tax. At least the interesting question is there an income? So if you only make debt in the past year or in the past month, there won't be any income tax. So it depends on the individual situation, but it's for sure. You have to declare this grants coming from the federal state of Berlin or from the federal government as an extraordinary income, and that is subject to be taxed then.
All right, thank you. So
there will be an individual document be sent by the Investitionsbank to all the applicants. So it is explained, not in English, sorry for that, but it is explained what to do with that and how it works.
Okay, Thank you. So again, if you need help with the German, get in touch with Vivian and she'll help you. She's helping people to understand these letters and emails. So staying on the tax subject, people who can't pay their taxes right now, what can they do? So they can't pay their taxes or these advanced taxes that people usually pay?
It doesn't matter if you are entrepreneur or private person, that doesn't matter in that regard. You should ask your tax office, your local tax office, for tax deferral. All the financial institutions have been instructed to handle such inquiries very generously. So you don't have to pay the taxes now. You can pay it later. Even a deferred payment could be one option.
Thank you. So here's one specific. We talk a lot about rent and if you can't pay your rent. Some people moved to Berlin and bought an apartment and say they just recently bought it and then the crisis came and now they can't pay. Can they change the installment plan? How do they deal with that?
Sorry again. I couldn't understand the question actually.
So the question is, I recently bought an apartment in Berlin and I got a loan, but I now have serious difficulties to pay the loan off according to the agreed upon installments. What do I do?
Okay, it's a bit the same like with the taxes. You can ask. Normally, the loan will come from a bank, so you can ask the bank for a deferral, but it's a bit different how they will react on that. We have heard about very generous behavior and as well as from a strict saying no, it's not our problem, it's your problem. So it's at least a sort of a lottery somehow. So you can be lucky, and you should not forget in such a situation that there is even an interest on the side of the lender to keep the contract alive. So normally you should be able to find a solution for that.
All right, thank you. So lottery sounds, a lottery.
Even maybe I should add one thing. Some of the contracts in this regard are already including a clause which means a break in payment is possible. So you should first check your contract for the loan, and maybe there is an article included in that contract which allows a break in payment for 3 months, for 6 months, or something like that.
Okay. So I have one. This also we should probably start moving a little faster for the next questions. This is a complicated one also to ask to answer briefly, but startups. So we work a lot with startups. This is a whole nother subject. Well, not really, but what kind of financial support is available for early stage startups? So this is still, I've heard a lot about this. Some things are still being decided. What can early stage startups do?
Actually, they had the possibility to ask for, as we call it, Corona Soforthilfe 2, which means individual entrepreneurs or solo entrepreneurs and companies up to 5 or 10 employees. So this is a program which offers grants, 9,000 euros up to 5 employees, and from more than 5 up to 10, it's 15,000 euros. If that doesn't work and you have more than 10 employees, you could ask for the Soforthilfe, it's called Soforthilfe 5. And that means you can get up to 25,000 euros for contracts for soft loans. Or if such a contract is not existing, you can get this as even a grant in approximately 25,000 euros. But actually, in the last week, the Federal Ministry of Economics has announced a program which is including 2 billion euros, specifically designed for companies which can be seen as startups. But this is a very complicated construction. So we see companies can be registered at the Federal Ministry, and then they can take over the part of a general partner, so it's called in the program, and they can match at least startups for the next finance rounds, and they can get up to 50 to 70% of their investments from the KfW, which is the structural bank of the Federal Ministry of Economics. It's a very complicated situation. It's called Column 1 program in this regard. And for early stage startups, there is no money in, because there must have been actually a venture, an existing venture, and then you get more money. But if you do not have a venture capital collected actually, this Column 1 program is not for you. So Column 2, that's the second part of this program of Federal Ministry, is not yet clear how it should work, but the intention is to co-finance programs which are handled by the local governments of the 16 federal states in Germany. For Berlin, we don't have any idea how it will work in detail, but that could also be an option for smaller startups. And a third column should be included. It's called Corona Liquidity Facility, called Column 1B. But even for that, the detailed information are still missing. It could be that venture capital investments and business angels could be part of that program, but it's too early to tell details about that.
All right, thank you. I think a lot of startups are waiting for those answers, the 1B and 2. I didn't know about 1B, but I know Column 2. A lot of people are waiting, so we're all waiting. And thanks, Christian. And I'm going to leave it with that question because we're running short on time.
Yeah, okay.
So thanks a lot. And again, it's very complicated, but you can get in touch with us as we learn about this Column 2 as well for early stage startups.
Maybe as one hint for that, there was a town hall call on that. A new program this Monday, and we had the expert from the Federal Ministry of Economics in that call, and I think it's available on the YouTube channel of Berlin Partner. So maybe you check that out if there is any need of more information on that.
Okay, great. So if you can't find that, everybody, just write us an email and we'll find the link for that, and we'll send it to you if you get in touch with us. Thank you, Christian.
Thanks.
So now, Davide, you're still there. Davide?
Hello, yes, I'm here, Thank you.
Hi. So the last I wanted to ask Christian a little bit more about small local businesses such as restaurants and small shops, but I will just speak to you about it, Davide. So Davide Gravina, Gravina is a restaurant owner here in Berlin. He's from Italy, as I said, and we wanted to talk with somebody here who's gone through this experience the past few months from their perspective, not just from the expert perspective, from someone who's actually gone through it. So we're really happy you're here. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you come from, and your restaurant here in Berlin?
Yes, of course. First of all, hello everybody, and thanks for inviting me to this call, which was very interesting so far. And yes, I'm very happy to share my story. I'm Davide Gravina, obviously. I'm coming from Italy. I moved to Berlin 4 years ago, knowing that this will be a nice dynamic city to move in, where business are growing. And luckily, I set up my own restaurant together with my wife. And I have to say that, yes, we had some difficulties, but luckily my wife is German. So she helped me a lot with the bureaucratic side of the business. In Berlin, yeah, there's a lot of rules, but once you get to know them, they're quite easy to go by. So we opened a restaurant 3 years ago, and we were very successful. We were in a nice area of Berlin between Kreuzberg and Neukölln, very vibrant area. And yeah, we managed to build a good reputation within the local community. And we were also having a lot of tourists coming by. Then when everything was going so well, this Corona crisis arrived. So it was a bit of a scary time for us.
Can I stop you first? Can you describe, because I think what's also interesting, well, first of all, you can say the name of your restaurant and where it is. So it's in this Kreuzköln neighborhood on in Maybach-Ufer, beautiful on the canal. And
yes,
you can tell the name of your restaurant, what's special about it, and your customers, the kind of people that come to your restaurant.
Yes, of course. I'm from Rome, and I named my restaurant Ammazza che Pizza, which Ammazza is a very Roman expression to say when something is really nice or really good. So pizza is our main specialty. So it's like killing for a pizza, or a pizza to die for. And we wanted to base our concept on quality and service. I guess that's what I like. It's a family style restaurant, so where people would come and feel at home. And I'm glad we achieved that. Karen is one of our regular guests. So,
that's true.
Yes, it was very important for me to achieve a nice atmosphere in the restaurant, serving good food. Having heard that the quality of food restaurants in Berlin wasn't very high, which has changed a lot in Berlin now. There's a lot of good quality restaurants. But
and the people that I know, because you know, as you said, I've come to your restaurant. It's a very international group of customers. It's very, I think everybody from every country in the world probably comes to your restaurant.
Yes, it's true, correct. We have a very diverse range of customers, from local Berliners to a very international range. We described really how Berlin is made. There's a lot of people from Berlin, but there's a lot of people from outside Berlin, from Europe and the rest of the world. So our customers reflect that very well.
So I think it's a place, I can say, where people from all over the world in Berlin feel at home. So I think it's part of your concept that works really well. And can you tell us about what happened when your situation, when it changed with the Corona crisis? What happened? What kind of help you got from all these programs we're talking about? If that helped you, and how you and your team dealt with it directly?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it all started and evolved very quickly, I have to say. Beginning of March, the Corona crisis started to explode, and by the 22nd of March, our sales dropped dramatically, and then the restrictions started, and then we had to close. We were only allowed to do food to go. But seeing their figures of the last week, I decided to close because it wasn't really worth being open. So we had 3 weeks of closing. In the meantime, yes, we went through all the bureaucracy to get help. And I have to be honest and happy that the help came quickly from the government. The Soforthilfe, this Zuschuss, or financial help, was very well organized. There was a virtual queue online where you could register yourself, put your data in, and within a week we got money arrived from the government. The second challenge was obviously to try and not lose all the staff and let them lose the job. So we registered them for these Kurzarbeit program. So basically where the government will support your staff and paid 60% of the wages and the taxes and the Krankenkasse, which is the health insurance. So there was a good help for me and relief that also my staff didn't lose their job and could survive through this period.
Great. And then, so I think that was the original, your first reaction was to see what kind of help you could get, and you did get help press, which we love to hear, of course. That's great.
Yes.
I was so happy when you told me that when I asked. And then you started, then you realized we should start maybe doing something else in this time. Some new ideas came up?
Yes, of course. Seeing that the situation wasn't a quick, fast solutions, obviously the corona crisis wasn't going to last only for a couple of weeks. So we decided to reopen the restaurant, started to do deliveries, and we started also to sell some of the products from Italy, some olive oils, olives, and other little things. We registered to this program where we could sell vouchers to our customers. So, and I was glad that a lot of customers were very supportive and then purchased the vouchers. So that gave us a bit more fresh air, so to say. And yeah, we organized ourselves to do deliveries, and the takeout was very popular. So with little adjustment in the business, we could at least pay the expenses and stay afloat, let's say. And now in the last week, the restrictions started to go down, so we could open again. And it was very nice to see the reaction from people in Berlin. Our customers came back. Everybody was very happy to see us, that we managed to go through the worst part of the crisis. So really it was rewarding for us to know that we have loyal customers that were happy to see us back in the business.
This is a great story, and we're all happy, and so it's looking good now, the future. So you had this break and a fearful time, I'm sure, and worrying time, but it's looking, so just to wrap this up, the future's looking all right for you and the team.
I think seeing the results of last week, the future is looking much brighter. I have to say, the reaction from people around was very good. So seems to be more relaxed and happy to go out. So for us, if this is the starting point, means that the summer looks good. So once the rest of the restriction will be dropped, and hopefully more tourists will come to the city, and also with your help, more people can move into Berlin. The situation looks like relaxing and resolving very quickly. So yeah, I think the worst is on our back, and we can concentrate to the future now.
Oh, it's really good to hear. So I hope that makes people optimistic out there. We're definitely happy that because Berlin team is going to go as soon as more people can join. One table, or we'll be there, Davide. So thank you. We're just waiting, and that's great. So I'll stop there, and if you want to get in touch with Davide, exchange ideas, get more information, visit the restaurant, just let us know, and we'll tell you how to get in touch with him. And I'll wrap now. Manon is waiting for me impatiently. She doesn't have much time left. So I'm going to stop now. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm very happy to end with the positive outlook that Davide shared. And we're planning the next calls, and we're planning post-crisis subjects at this point, not only the crisis subjects. So I will say goodbye. I will hand the stage over to Manon, who will...
Thank you very much for having me, and I wish you all a good day. Thank you. Bye.
And I'm going to say goodbye, and Manon will take over.
Hi everyone, thank you Karen for leading this discussion and answering so many questions. So I'm Manon, I was in charge of the Q&A. Some of you already discussed with me through this. So before moving forward with the Q&A, I would like to launch a little survey that I put together to better plan our next town hall calls. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to answer it, but it's pretty short. It's only 5 questions, and it should now appear on your screen. So thank you again to all our experts and guests for participating into this discussion. It was very insightful. We received many questions in the Q&A. So as I answered all of you, some questions are very personal and dealing with individual cases. So it's difficult to address all questions today. And the best is to follow up with us via email. We will also take time to follow up with some of you via email. But again, the best is to start a discussion with us, as we can take more time and dig into your situation carefully. But I still collected some questions, and I will start asking them to our first expert, David. So these 3 questions are dealing with immigration issues. So David, are you ready for these questions?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. So the first question came from Carlos via email actually this morning, and he asked, would someone with a job seeker visa, so-called Arbeitssuchervisum, get an extension since all interviews got paused because of coronavirus?
Yeah. Depending on what, and I need to just explain, there are 2 kinds of job seeker visa. One is after successful graduation. This is a special kind of job seeker visa for students that graduate in Germany. And once you have this 18 months job seeker visa, you might be eligible for getting a 6 months job seeker visa. This is a regular job seeker visa. But once you are here with this job seeker visa, what you applied for at the German embassy abroad in your home country, I'm not quite sure if that can be prolonged or extended. But for that, I every time would recommend get in touch with the immigration office of Berlin via the contact formula, describe the situation. Everyone is knowing about the corona situation, and I guess there's no reason for rejecting this kind of prolongation or extension of a job seeker visa. So just do that before the job seeker visa runs out, before it gets invalid. So
all right,
pay attention on the validation period.
Thank you for your answer. And the follow-up question of Carlos was actually, can someone apply for financial help with this type of visa?
Again, 2 answers, because we got two job seeker visa or types of job seeker visa. The general answer is apply at the authorities, which is the Arbeitsagentur as also the job center. So reach out to the respective one in the district you are living, and reach out to an officer there, describe the situation. They need to double check your application, and once you are eligible, you will get these benefits, whether it's this so-called Arbeitslosengeld I, which is paid by the Arbeitsagentur, or you get this financial support from so-called Arbeitslosengeld II, which is paid by the job center, which is more a basic financial support. So it's the Existenzminimum in German.
Thank you. Thank you. So that was my first question. The second question is from an anonymous attendee. Unfortunately, I don't have his name, but his question was, what are the possibilities of transitioning from a Schengen visa to a residence permit in the current corona situation, knowing that he has a 2-year Schengen visa and he has been in Berlin since the end of February 2020?
I would expect that this attendee is not a citizen of US, Canada, or these other, in total 7 privileged countries. So someone from India, Brazil, Ukraine, or somewhere else. who needs a Schengen visa to enter Germany. In that case, it's not that easy to shift from a Schengen visa to a residence permit, because regular it's not allowed to apply here within Germany from Schengen visa to a residence permit. One scenario is the most comfortable one. Once you find an employer who is offering you a job which fulfills the blue card requirements, then this case or this application can be handled here in Germany. But regular, you need to leave Germany once you only have a Schengen visa, and you need to apply in your home country at the German embassy for a residence permit. I mean, I guess there's no exception or no special regulations right now because of Corona situation. These general rules are not affected by these extensions of some limitations or things like that. So I guess currently it's only a way to extend your Schengen visa and to stay here as long as needed until planes are flying, until the travel regulations are fine, but no chance to shift to regular residence and work permit.
All right. Thank you very much, David, for answering these questions. I will stop there for the immigration part, but I invite this anonymous attendee to follow up with us via email and share more information about where he's from and more information about his situation so we can better assist him. I will ask two last small questions to Christian regarding financial help. Christian, are you there?
I'm here.
Perfect. So the first question for you is coming from Jocelyn, and she asked us if, so the question was, I was fired in February and I applied to get the benefits in the Agentur für Arbeit, but I didn't get it because I was working just 10 months. Is it possible to apply again?
That means unemployment benefits, I guess.
Yes.
And I would say when she applied the first time, the Corona situation was not existing or was not visible at that time. So anyhow, I would give the hint, yes, try it again.
Perfect.
May I interrupt you both? To get Arbeitslosengeld 1, you need to prove 12 months of paying social insurance system.
Yeah, but not for Arbeitslosengeld 2.
For Arbeitslosengeld, but she applied at Arbeitsagentur. And that's why the application was rejected. So what she should do is apply at the job center for Arbeitslosengeld 2 for this financial benefit of the job center. There should be eligibility for this.
Very interesting.
It's two different social security systems. One is paid by the taxes. This is the second one, Arbeitslosengeld 2, and one is paid by your social contributions shares. Everyone who is employed pays that into a general system. But to get eligible for Arbeitslosengeld 1, you need to pay in that system for at least 12 months.
Yeah, that's right.
Very interesting. Thank you, David, thank you, Christian and David, for jumping in as well. I'm sure Jocelyn is very happy about this answer. So the last question is from Katya. She was inquiring about the tourism industry. Is there any specific saving plan for the tourism industry? She's a self-employed Reiselehrerin who lost her income for the whole year, and other than the Soforthilfe and potentially the ALG 2, she was wondering if there are any additional help for the tourism industry as she suffers particularly from the impact of the coronavirus on the industry. I don't know if you have any answer to that.
I would say there was already in the first step the possibility for her to apply for Corona Soforthilfe 2. She is self-employed and a solo entrepreneur.
Sorry, Christian, we can't hear you very well. Can you please repeat?
I think there was the possibility for her to apply for Corona-Soforthilfe 2, which means grants up to 9,000 euro for individual entrepreneurs. Actually, as far as I know, there is in preparation a big new program under the umbrella of the Federal Ministry for Economics for small and medium-sized companies, but that means at least more than 100 up to 250 employees. And that will also cover parts of the tourism industry. But for her individual situation as being an individual entrepreneur, I guess there won't be any possibility for that.
I see. I guess the best, Katja, would be to get in touch with us and that we understand better your situation and try to help you as best as we can.
Yeah, but you have to be quick because Corona-Soforthilfe 2, this grants up to 9,000 euro, will be finished end of this week.
Oh, so, and interesting. So Katja, we can probably help you. So get in touch with us, and yeah, I think that was our last question. We received other questions, but unfortunately, we won't have time to answer all of them. It's already past 1. But we thank you all for joining our call and for asking your questions. Again, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Thank you to our experts, guests, and moderator Karen for leading this discussion. And get in touch. You can also follow us on social media. We are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. We will be posting a recording of this call later today. And we will be informing all of our followers about potential new town hall calls in the next weeks on these channels as well. Thank you again, and wishing you all a very good afternoon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye-bye.